Man.
I thought it was kind of interesting. Sydney said in practices, like there have been multiple times where you guys have just shot it unbelievably well. Have you seen that be the case? Is she accurate in her assessment that you guys have shot it well at times?
No, she's very accurate. We chart all that stuff, like everyone keeps stats, and our numbers are they're really good. They're kind of what you would expect for the kids that we have. Obviously, that's the big. I think one of my former friends used to call it white line syndrome. When you walk inside the white lines, things change a little bit. So hopefully, it'll translate. And like anything, basketball is one of those games where players are so consumed by making shots, and hopefully they've seen enough go in over time. We've been better, but that's going to be a huge thing moving forward for us to be able to compete.
I know at times you've said in the past, like, you've done some kind of fun things to, like, inspire them, like show, like, old stats, print them off. Have you done anything with this group to kind of remind them, like, you guys have an
Yeah, almost every one of them. Probably, I don't know everyone, but almost every one of them we've printed off stats, individual stats initially of games that they've had in the past. Obviously, some of them weren't here. Sid, Lily, they were, and then games where they can look and go, oh wow, that's me. That's my name with the makes on it, and that's the thing that I don't know. You can dwell, like we've been shooting a lot after the holiday because we have more time and we haven't been at Hilton, so you add 10, 12 minutes. But, and it's like I told him too, this is the only time really you're like a pro. You're out of school, and you can spend an extra 15 minutes in the gym or whatever. So we've tried that stuff and we've worked hard on it. And but at the same time, you walk a fine line about, you keep saying something's not going well, then they believe it, and how do you fix it? So I know they can make them. They know they can make them. It's just we've got to be a little more consistent, especially when people start even more doubling Audi, and there's going to be some opportunities there that you have to make people pay for it.
What was it you printed up? Was it like for every player, like their top game?
Yeah,
or?
like I don't know if we've done it for everyone, but I think almost everyone. It could have been Johnston High School. It could have been, Lily, obviously at Oregon State. Sid. I mean, it's just I just wanted them to see, because what I always tell them is we're not asking you to do something you've never done before, okay? And you have doubt in your mind, but then like here. You did a really good job on this paper. You did a really good job in this games. And I don't know that it really matters, but at least there's some, okay. Because I always tell them, video and stats don't lie. And if you went 4 for 5 in a game, then okay, maybe it reinforces your belief in yourself. Hopefully that's the case.
Who tracked down the specific games?
The staff, I asked them, and Sarah does a great job of all that when I ask her. Or we just, any way you can get them. But yeah, I'll just say, give me 4 or 5 games. And a lot of times, we sort of know, like for the kids that have played for us here, we pretty much know. The ones that, like the kids that have transferred or the high school guys, it takes a little more work. But it's really not hard to find, and plus you can just say, hey, think about the best game you ever played in your life, and what was it, and so you get some hints that way too. But our kids have handled it really well, and hopefully we've turned a little bit of a corner.
How much can that take you guys over the next hump, or take you to the next level?
Well, I mean, I think it's something that we have to do, and I told our team when we came back from Christmas, there's a couple of specific things we had to work on, and one of them was, the shot selection. And there's a difference between open and getting a better shot. There's a difference between passing up a shot that you should take, and that's a really fine line to walk. It's like you're 0 for 2 and you're wide open and you don't shoot it, that's bad too. So you don't want to just be shooting it all the time. It's, especially when you have Audie and Addie, you got to figure that out too. But for the most part, I think we've managed it. They've managed it pretty well. It's just we got to see the ball go in the basket a little more.
You've also faced a number of teams that are really good at pressuring the basketball, and
Right.
I think Sydney talked about getting sped up, and maybe does that kind of help explain the white line syndrome a little bit?
Yeah, I think it does, and I think we have gotten sped up, and the timing and execution of things isn't what it needs to be, and we have to do that better as a staff, simulate that in practice a little bit better. And what happens too is you're trying to manage it with with Emily Ryan, who's not at her normal level, Reagan, who's a freshman. So you're trying to, not overload them as much as probably we have, unfortunately. But no, I don't think there's any question that the game gets going a little quicker, and I always tell them you got to see the play, don't guess. And sometimes I think we just want to get the ball out of our hands. It's like they can't pressure me if I don't have the ball. And sometimes it's like, here, you take it, and that's a hard thing. And every young player, every team goes through that we've had here, and so it's got to be, it's just, Rocco plays a great game. Well, they block for him, and the receivers catch it. It's not always the person with the ball's fault, and I think that's, you can get sped up when you're allowed to be sped up, and hopefully we're better. We've been better the last few days in practice than we were when we left, so hopefully that's a good sign.
You mentioned before Big 12 play, a number of teams didn't face many challenges and have great records.
Mm-hmm.
You faced some big challenges, took a couple of humbling losses, I guess you'd call them, but at the same time, do you feel like this team's makeup will be better because of that, rather than taking 2 games that they're facing someone they could easily beat by 30?
I honestly do. Now, it's easy to say, and it might not translate into, wins and losses, and or wins, and I know that's what people are concerned about. But the makeup of our team is really good. The chemistry of our team is really good, and that's a credit to them for what we've kind of put them through, and the travel. And I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's like you go play at Connecticut and it takes you half a day to get back, and then a day later you're on another plane. So, and they've handled it really well. I mean, they really, so I don't worry about that. I mean, I worry about a lot of stuff. That's my number one quality is I worry well. But that part of it, I'm not. And I think that's because of Emily Ryan's leadership, and the growing leadership ability of Audie and Addie have really helped that, I think. So hopefully that's where we're headed.
There's one thing that's happened in both of those games is you fall behind because they can't miss a shot by whatever number.
Right.
But in the second quarter, I think you cut it to 16 both times, or 16, 18, after all that. And Addie referenced, okay, we got to play for 40 minutes, not 10.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean,
Right.
The fact that they showed that fight, is that indicative of the type of makeup of the team?
Yeah. Oh, no question. And I think, I think it's easy. Yeah. And Connecticut, we got pummeled, but we're down 26 in the first quarter, and we cut it to 12 or 13. And again, that I'm not, obviously moral victories don't mean crap to anybody, but I think it shows that they're going to keep competing, and that's kind of been the case all year. Now, there's competing, and then there's execution that comes with a level of effort, and we've had teams, we've had games forever, and I would walk out and say, man, we really, really played hard. But if you don't guard right, you don't make shots, you lose. It's like the example I give them all the time is they could study as hard as they can study for a test. I mean, it's impossible to study more, and they get a B. And it's like, okay, that's all you can do. So I do think it's a credit to them, their personality. They're very connected, so you just hope at some point they're rewarded for their efforts.
How are you guys doing from a health standpoint now that you've had so much time off?
Good. Kenzie Hare had her surgery this morning, and Dr. Wormy said it went really well. Never had a doctor tell me, man, I screwed that one up. Yeah, dang it, next time. Yeah, no, but that was good. She got that done. But everyone else is, normally when you come back from Christmas, someone's sick, something happened, but really, there's no one that had, Emily's minutes are still restricted, but other than that, everyone's practiced full go since we've been back, and we gave them a week off, and today was our third practice, so we'll go again tomorrow and then play Wednesday.
Still stand with Kenzie done for the year.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
assuming
done.
that doesn't
Yeah, no, she's
change
done.
anything.
Yep, she.
Didn't go that well.
No, it wasn't. Oh, praise Jesus. Yeah, he's not that good. He's really good. I don't think he's that good, but no, yeah, we'll redshirt her, and but yeah, other than that, everyone's showing up.
Didn't ask you about Kansas yet, so I
It's all
probably
right.
should do that.
That's okay.
What do you, what do you see
Yeah,
from them?
Kansas that Brandon's done a great job there. Like a lot of teams, they've added some key people in the portal, but Samaya Nichols is a pro. You look at her numbers, and it's staggering to see a kid, that leads their team in basically everything. Scoring and rebounding and free throw attempts and assists, and she's got the ball in her hands a lot. She's really, really good at what she does. And then defensively, always smart, pressure man-to-man, physical defense, hard to score on. We'll see how they guard Audie. They've guarded her a lot of different ways. But, they've got some really good wins. They beat UNI, they beat Penn State, they beat Auburn. Obviously, lost their opener to Baylor, but Baylor's Baylor. But no, they're a very, very good team. The thing about them that I've always been impressed with, they're never going to beat themselves, ever. The pace is going to be the way they want to play. They're going to do their stuff. They're going to make it hard for you to score, and that's the kind of team that they've had there forever. And I think it's just another year of same kind of thing that Kansas does, year in, year out. Thank you, guys.
Grandkids have a good Christmas?
Yeah, everyone, yeah, jeez.
How about you? I should ask if you did.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. I just, look, the good thing, we're blessed, Rob, because,